your October looks like. Health, wealth, relationships. One like kind of 360 view, things you may want to be aware of so that you can stay on top of everything that is about you, Leo. Now, for Leo, any other sign for that matter, when you're here, I may be zeroing in on a certain subset of the population because our risings and our moon signs tend to alter what type of Leo you happen to be. So I may be zeroing in on one certain subset. So if this doesn't feel like it resonates with you, just let it go, throw it away. There may be another reader who's zeroing in on you. If it does feel like it really resonates, then stick with me, take it, run with it, subscribe, make sure we keep track of each other so that we can pass on this type of information every month. All right, so here we go. Let's get started digging up what Leo needs to know for October 2018. All right, health is the death card. Ooh, wealth, 8 of Cups. This just showed up for Cancer in the same spot. Interesting. Relationships. This is the daughter of Cups. This is Bridget, St. Bridget of Ireland. It's my horrible Irish accent. All right. So first things first, Leo. I know you're a fire sign, but you are covered in water during October. This is going to be an emotional month. It's a lot going on. If you're someone who is psychic or intuitive, it's probably going to have a lot of heavy back and forth for you in that other realm. And if you're not, this is just going to be an emotionally intense month. So watch out for the full moon, Leo. That's when it's going to be at its height. For me, it tends to be around the new moon. I'm a Taurus, but just in case the full moon tends to not hold any sway for you, maybe it's actually happening around the new moon. So just keep your eye out for both of those. I also find it interesting that we've got a court card, a minor card, and a major card, one from each piece of the tarot. So you have got quite the gamut of experience going on in October. Spiritually, you're in a state of shift, change, transformation. Things are going to be constantly shaken up in the month of October. I also recognize that our death card is part of your health. So during the month of October, what you may find is there are choices about your health, mental or physical, that you choose to release. Things that you don't need to do anymore, patterns for you that no longer serve you, and it's time to let them go. That's okay. You'll probably have another idea of what you'd like to do in place of those things. If you don't, it's perfectly okay to release the thing that is not serving you and make space for something new, even if you don't know what it is yet. Because Leo, everything comes your way in due time anyway. So just releasing and making space will open up all that space for something new to come into. Moving on to wealth. So if you're talking about where your money is, how you're feeling about your money, this is the 8 of Cups. I think what's unique about this for you and completely different than what came up for Cancer before you is your wealth is kind of your money's kind of in a barren state for the month of October. So watch out for it. I think it slips through your fingers. You probably find that you have to either spend more than you expected or you accidentally spent more than you expected. Either way, it sifts really quickly. So keep an eye on your money. It's going to feel like it's moving really, really fast. That's probably going to be frustrating because when you don't have cash on hand, you can't do all the stuff that you want to do. So Leo, keep track of where your pennies are during the month of October. I do think that this has probably been coming for a little while. I think that while you may seem surprised, you probably won't be. But it's been coming for a little bit. In fact, you may get a little dramatic over your money during the month of October. So watch out for playing the drama card in front of other people you won't do this when you're alone, in front of other people about your money, because they're gonna. It'll be more off-putting for them than inviting them in like you'd rather do. So just throwing it out there doesn't bring people to you in a way that you'd like. So I would share that there are other ways to handle what you may feel like is misfortune around your finances. Relationships, on the other hand, remember this is Bridget of Ireland, she's the daughter of Cups. Relationships are gonna, a couple things. One, I think they're gonna benefit from a good date. They're gonna benefit from going to a museum, something artistic, going to a play, going on one of those dates where you go drink wine and paint pictures, something that has some creativity to it. But it's also something that I would recommend you make a ritual out of. So if there's like those painting things with the wine and paint, you can go do one of those monthly or quarterly. If you're going to a museum, make it a habit to go to a museum in whatever city you're in on whatever trip you're on, right? So that there is some sort of ritual to this thing. So in October, what can you do in October that can create some ritual, something you can do every October or that you'd like to do every month? Dressing up in costumes and having some fun you could do every month, but it just might be bloody during Halloween. Whatever it is, give yourself some fun and some space to play. I think there's also something interesting here around, so I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. In this image, what I'm seeing is a pair of two legs and the abdomen of a woman, which is actually looks like a big uterus to me. So, and then there's like on the other side of that seems to be a vagina facing the uterus. So these are two different female bodies. They're facing each other. And as we're talking about relationships and having two female bodies facing each other, especially internal and external organs, there's a lot to unpack there. So women who are seeing this scope, there's a lot going on related to your bodies with your relationships. So those of you who are Leos and women and identify as women, there's a lot going on with your bodies and relationships and how you recognize, not how you relate to your friends, partners, boyfriends, husbands, whatevers, fathers, brothers, when it comes to your bodies. Not unusual given what's been going on with our government lately. But this is in particular a challenge emotionally for you with the relationships that you have surrounding you in your life. So I would encourage you to just be mindful of the fact that that is out there and it exists during the month of October. It's going to be a tough spot. It's going to be an emotional spot. And just know that it's there so that you can be ready to ride that wave, because I don't know if there's a way to shift or change this. I think it's part of what you're going to go through in October. All right. Quintessence of all of this, if I drill it all down, the lovers, it's the relationships in your life. The relationships in your life are going to be prominent during the month of October, and relationships can be anything from familial to business to casual to romantic, platonic. It can be all over the place. Your relationships will factor prominently, especially as you're going through these challenges relating your body to your relationships, your finances to your relationships and how you interact and talk to people about your finances. And as you go through this transition and what it means to be healthy mentally and physically, and spiritually for that matter, you're going to need to rely on your relationships to keep you stable. They're going to be important. They're going to keep you lifted. And Leo, you may like to think that you have the strength to do everything on your own, but it takes a village. It takes a village. And Leo, you're going to need it this month. I think it's going to be helpful for you to be surrounded by those who you would call your chosen family. All right. Thanks, Leo. I hope this is helpful. If it is, please leave me some messages below. Subscribe so we can keep track of each other, and give me some thumbs up on there so I know that you like it, and I'll keep doing it. Share out with your friends so they can enjoy this too, especially if you know some people who are Leos or people who love Leos that need to know a little bit about what's coming around the Leos in their lives. Thanks, everybody. Have a great October.